I'm Dean Galusha and welcome to another edition of Shootin' Plink. We've got a new one with us today. It's an Umarex Fusion 2. Now it comes with a scope. It has a 432 scope on it. It is said to be a tag driver, and so far with just a few rounds, in fact all I've fired is 9 rounds, and that's the magazine that goes in this is a 9-round magazine, by the way. It's a bolt action, has your safety right over here. It shoots at around 750 feet per second, and that's with an alloy pellet. You're getting down into the 650 range once you go to a lead, and that's what we're shooting. We're shooting a RWS hobby pellet. That's one of my favorites, and I'm so confident with this thing that what we're going to be shooting at is that orange dot, that little bitty dot. It's about the size of a dime, and we're going to see just what we do with this. Gonna go back there at 10 meters. That is basically what this gun is designed for. Then we're gonna plink, and we're gonna be shooting around 25 yards. I think we'll do that. In fact, what we might do is go at different stages, but first let's take some shots at this target and see what happens. As you can see, I flipped the target just a little bit. I changed it around. I wanted it down a little bit lower, and hopefully I haven't done anything to this scope. I dropped it on the way over. So we'll see what happens. CO2. Okay, I ran on a CO2. I came back, I loaded it up with some more CO2, and I'll tell you why in just a little bit. You can see I fired at it again, and I'm hitting pretty good down there. So I'm going to take a few more rounds down there and show you what it's going to do. Then we're going to talk about that, and then we'll go point. Fire any more right now because you can see she's going right down the middle. It's a tag driver, like they said. So we're going to go, and I'm going to tell you about this CO2, and then we'll take these other rounds and we'll do some blinking. Okay, as I said, you knew I ran out of CO2. The reason I did is because this is a system, and I wanted to talk to you about it anyway, but it actually shows you what can happen. This is a cylinder that is removable. I'm not going to take it out because it's still got my CO2 in it. It has 2 cartridges. You load them one down and one up, and then this is a dual purpose thing. You can see this collar right here. Okay, you screw that on down in there tight. This you leave loose. I'll take that off. This is a relief valve right here. Okay, once you've got that screwed down, then you take that relief valve and you screw it down tight to the point of where you are piercing both cartridges. I didn't do that. I only got the upper one pierced. The bottom one was just a little bit almost pierced, but not quite. Now, this thing can also use an 88 gram. Those are two 12 grams, but it can use an 88. With two 12s, it's supposed to get around 70 rounds, and with an 88, you can get around 250 rounds fired. Now we'll talk about the target. The dot is gone, as you can see. And like I said, I fired at it, and you can see the hole in the back. I fired at it after I brought it out because I wanted to make sure that it was still shooting before I did it actually on camera. So anyway, I shot at it. You can see, I mean, that's a grouping of 9 pellets all in that one spot. I don't know how many I've got left here. The magazines, well, I was having a bit of a problem. The safety's right here, by the way. I'm going to show you that. It's kind of a neat safety. It's right down here. And I've got it on safe right now. But we're going to go back. We're going to set up some bottles, some of our old Plinking bottles. These type right here. I set those up, and we're going to fire these at some different distances. I think I'm probably going to start out about, well heck, let's just go back to 25 yards and see if we can do it. So I'm going to go over to the other range and we're going to do some shooting. Okay, you can see the bottles. Let's see what we got. I don't know how many rounds I got left here. I got another magazine with me, so we'll see what happens from this distance. Better take safety off. Also better put a round in. Well, that's 25 yards, I got that one. Didn't do too well there, did it? We got any more in here? There's more in here than I thought. Yep, I'm out. Tell you what, put another cartridge here, another magazine in, if I can find it. Good. Good. In there. Knocked both of them off in one shot. So anyway, you can see at 25 yards we got it. So now let's go back where we were there at first and tell you some more about this gun. Well, you've seen how it's shooting as far as plinking and the targets. It really did. It was, I guess, what you'd call a tack driver. It hit right down the middle with every round. And the scope, at first I wasn't too sure, you know, I said I bumped it there, so but the big problem I had was the fact of the CO2, so you got to remember that on that. It is a dual cartridge CO2 with this adapter. Otherwise you can use an 88 gram. You can just put one of those in. But I've got the 12 grams, so why not use those? And it does seem to shoot pretty good on everything, but I did have some problems with the magazines. For some reason it just would not seat in here properly, and I don't know why. But I mean, it was in there good enough, but you got to remember too that when you put this bolt in there, make sure that you're not jamming the pellets, the skirt on the pellets. I did do that when I was sighting this in, and I fired a few rounds in, and of course that will definitely throw them off. But otherwise, you know, it's not all that bad of a gun. This is what they call a silence air, not a silencer. You can see it here. It says silence air. Now that is, of course, it's supposed to make it very, very quiet. And it is pretty quiet. Those bottles that I was hitting were louder than the actual gun firing. So overall, yeah, that's not too bad of a gun. What I like about this too, and I know some people don't like this pistol grip, but if you're trying to steady it, now I was having problems. It's pretty cool out here, and I don't have my jacket on. Steadying it to shoot at those bottles. And that one that missed, I don't know if that was a flyer or just didn't shoot. I don't really know. But anyway, that's what we got. This is the Umarex Fusion 2. So you might want to take a look at them. They're not too bad of a gun. So until next time, shoot safe and have a great day of plinking.